This is Brandon Rabar, your host for today, and this is a dispatch from Daily Thunder. Every story, every game, every day. Welcome to the Daily Thunder podcast. I am your host, Brandon Rabar, beat writer for dailythunder.com. I am joined, as always, by Ryan Woods, contributor to dailythunder.com. How are you doing, Ryan?
Great, man. How are you?
I am really good after this Thunder-Lakers game. That's what we're here to rapid react to. At the end of this, we're going to take questions from Daily Thunder Twitter. So stick around for that. I'm excited about that. But overall thoughts on this Thunder-Lakers game. To me, first thing that jumps out at you, is this the best win of the season? Now, the Lakers, they had the number one seed clinched, so maybe a little bit the luster is taken off. But they were playing LeBron and Anthony Davis.
I'm with you. I think it's up there. May not be number one for me, but I definitely think it's up there. For the reason you said, I think the Lakers they looked a little sluggish to start, and I was texting a friend after the first quarter, thinking, just don't poke the bear. Don't poke the bear. Let them stay asleep throughout the rest of the game. Luckily, we were able to weather a couple runs there, especially in the third quarter. But I thought Chris Paul was awesome. Definitely, I thought it was his best game of the three so far. I thought Gallo was awesome. He had a couple big shots to stretch the lead there in the second half. So overall, fantastic win. I think Oklahoma City would have signed up for going 2-1 to start these first three games back with how tough the teams were. So overall, I thought it was a fantastic win, and it makes up for losing a tight one to Denver.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it, because you expected to win against the Nuggets with those guys out, even with Schroeder out, and then you expected to lose against the Lakers. So this kind of like is a wash, and helps wash some of those feelings away. That said, I can't help but to think, man, they'd be right there at the 3 seed right now had, Chris Paul hit that free throw, or if they wouldn't have called that terrible foul on Robertson that gave them 2 free throws, or, Schroeder been out, but I'll get over it eventually. But but you'll take 2-1 over the Jazz, Nuggets, and Lakers any day. And now you got the Grizzlies, Wizards, and Suns should be 3 winnable games. Although the Suns, that may be a little bit tougher than it looked originally. The things that jumped out about this game to me, though, first of all, Chris Paul was the best player on the court. You got LeBron and Anthony Davis, 2 top 5 players. 35-year-old Chris Paul was the best player on the court tonight. Shea was interesting because he started off really hot, and then he kind of faded the rest of the game, which is the opposite of what happened in the Nuggets game. He started off really slow and then got really hot in the fourth quarter. But to me, maybe the biggest thing that stood out was Lou Dort, 21-year-old, undrafted, rookie free agent, going up against LeBron James. And honestly, he did a great job on LeBron.
He did a great job. He is just so massive. He's immovable. And LeBron, LeBron backed down Diallo a couple times where it literally looked so easy, as if it was like a cone drill. And then contrast that to when Dort is on him, it's just incredible. The physicality is incredible. The speed, the desire, the effort, it's all there. He's not even that intellectual of a defender yet. He's getting there, but he's doing it off of sheer strength and will, which is awesome, because those other things are going to come. But man, he did an incredible job on LeBron tonight. Really, really good.
And just to see how diverse his defensive skill set is, because you could see him, being stronger and using his power against the Hardens and the Dames and those guys. But to see him do it against 6'8", 250-pound LeBron James, that was just unreal effort by Lou Dort.
Fearless.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it was funny because in the post game, he was asked, what he thought about, being thrown into the fire against LeBron James. He's like, honestly, it's just like another game to me. That's what you love about Dort, though. That's how he is. It's that why not mindset. Russell Westbrook was his favorite player growing up, and you just see it from him.
Yep.
Going forward now, the Thunder want to avoid the 6 seed. I don't want to play the Nuggets. I know we talked about this in previous podcasts. As this has gone on, I think I'd rather take my chances against the Rockets, and of course, I'd rather face the Jazz. So to me, it'd be important to be in that 4 or 5 seed so you don't play the Nuggets. Do you agree with that, or do you still want to play the Nuggets?
I would disagree with you. I'd rather see Denver than Houston at this point. For like a Thunder's chances to win. I would obviously love to play Houston just for the storylines and all everything that comes with that series. Um, but I think, to be honest, I think the only team they need to avoid is the Clippers falling to 3 and them in the 60. I think that's the worst case scenario. Um, I think they'd be. I think they can win against any of those other 3 teams. I
I do
obviously
too.
I think we both agree Utah would be the choice, but um, I think Houston presents a whole different set of challenges, and they're just weird enough and star driven enough to get the calls that they need down the stretch. They just need a close game, and they know they have Harden to take him across the finish line, and he will. Um, I think Houston would be an even tougher matchup. I think the variance is a little bigger with a Houston series, but I think I'd still rather see Denver.
Totally understandable. I just maybe it's recency bias and what Michael Porter Jr. is doing and what a
Yeah.
freak Jokic is. But at this point, I just like our size against Houston at least.
Mhm.
And we have the defenders to throw at Harden and Russ, I feel like. Back to the Lakers game, though, just real quick before we get to the Daily Thunder Twitter questions. Do you think this is a measure of how good the Thunder can be? Or is it just like, one of those things that happen in the bubble?
I think for the team internally, it's the righting of a wrong. I think they really felt like they let one go
Yeah.
the other day against Denver, and I think it's a way to get another win on the board. Other than that, I mean, the way that they're treating it, it's just we came out expecting to win and we did, and so we're headed to the next one. I don't know that there's much more to learn from it other than maybe some rotation stuff, and I think we have a question about it, but the Robertson, Baisley, Diallo, Nader minutes. It just seems to be a toss-up game to game. Obviously, Diallo's getting the first crack at it, but it doesn't seem like the leash is all that long. And Nader's going to get his run. Robertson's going to get his run. And it could be matchup based. It could be how they come out playing. But I'm very interested to see going forward who sticks and who doesn't.
And I think that these 8 seeding games will kind of tell the tale. I think in the playoffs, we'll see the rotations get tighter. My personal preference is still Robertson first. I
Really?
gotta say, I've been shocked by Diallo. He's had 3 solid games. I mean, his scoring, obviously, he's not going to be able to shoot, but he's impacting the game with his defense, with rebounding, and just his hustle and energy. I still like Nader's shooting though. And then, Baisley was rough today. His shot hasn't been there. And really the Thunder's shooting this whole game, it only shot 20.8% from 3. Really
Yeah.
rough. Amazing they killed the Lakers by as much as they did, but the Lakers weren't hitting either. But the Thunder won with defense, and they were tight with the ball. This was the first game in the seeding games where they didn't turn the ball over a lot. So they got tighter there and played good defense. Let's jump into the questions, though, because this is kind of a good seg into the questions. Question 1 from Cray Allred, big Daily Thunder fan he is.
Friend of the program.
Yeah. He actually asked, should Robes take Baisley's rotation spot? And then Justin Giovanni, also a big fan of Daily Thunder, said he should take someone's. If Bays misses his next 3, he's below 30% for the season. Dort already slumming at 28%. Comeback Dre is superior. What do you think?
To be honest, I haven't been all that blown away from Robertson. I think he's had a couple good moments, but overall, physically, he just doesn't look all the way back, which is completely understandable. But with these games being close and very winnable, it seems like they're letting the healthier body go for longer. And I think it's a good learning experience for Baisley. I think I I hesitate to take a rookie off the floor that they're clearly invested in. That look, all signs point to Baisley starting next year. I think they want him out there as much as possible, and I don't think they're going to sacrifice a learning experience for him uh, for a guy that is still trying to find his way back and may not even be on the team next year. So I think I would probably stick with Baisley because I think he just has more to offer right now. I think just about everybody on the team has more to offer right now than Robertson. That's just my opinion. I think Nader gives him more. And right now, just Diallo's speed and willingness to try stuff, I think he's giving him more too. So yeah, I think it's Baisley's for now. I didn't see anything tonight. Even the 0 for 7, even that air ball was just a love letter to these Thunder wings, specifically Robertson, through the years. But even with his struggles, I think it's still Baisley's minutes.
I kind of already answered this accidentally before we got to it, but I do have Robes number one just because of his experience, his intelligence, his basketball IQ. He's not going to mess you up. Like when I'm looking at that deep of the roster spot and that rotation, I just want somebody who's not going to hurt you when the games get tight. And I know Robes isn't going to hurt us. He's not going to make any mistakes. Now, like you said, he's in better condition. He's a better athlete at this point. He's bigger and stronger, but Robes is still 6'7", and he's not the athlete that he was. But I think I've seen enough from him to think that he'll be at least a neutral guy and somebody that's not going to hurt us. So that's kind of my thinking on that. Whereas I think Nader's defense will hurt. I think Diallo's offense and his shot selection could end up hurting. I just looking at Dre, I'm like, well, he won't hurt us. Yeah, and I still think that his defense and once he gets his legs underneath him, can end up being a positive. But I'm a big believer in Dre, and I like the other guys, and I want the experience for those guys, especially the young guys. But I think when playoffs come around, it's time to win. So give me Dre.
Donovan has a very short leash with rookies when it comes to playoff time. So you definitely could be right. I could definitely see Donovan going back to Robertson for more minutes when it comes to playoff time. No question.
I hope that'll happen. I think it'll happen. We'll see. I know they want to get experience to these young guys, though, to which I totally get. John Napier, also a big fan of Daily Thunder,
yes,
says, will the Thunder win the finals in 4 games or 5? Which I think is just completely unrealistic. I mean, it's going to be 3, right? Thunder in 3.
I was going to say 2 or 3. 4 seems a bit pessimistic on his part, but let's go with 4.
Big Debbie Downer there, John Napier. All right, OKC Thunder cover ask, will we do a virtual championship parade or will we do it in person? That's actually a great question. I think it'll be a mix of both. I think that there'll be a parade downtown in Bricktown, and then I think the people who want to socially distance but still want to party, we'll get on okcthunder.com/virtual parade and enjoy the show there.
If there is an in-person parade, you will find me somewhere by myself in my own little space there in person. Been waiting too long, way too long.
I'll mask up and I'll get down to Bricktown, that's for sure. And I'll make sure my float that I'm in has like 6 feet around me on each side, but I'll be there.
You'll probably be on it with the players.
I mean, Daily Thunder's got some pretty sweet connections now, so it could happen.
We know a lot of people.
We're kind of a big deal. So thank you so much for listening to the Daily Thunder podcast, and be sure to join us after every single bubble game. We will be here. Ryan, thanks so much for joining us.
Cheers.